Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Kennedy at Thistley Hough Academy. I'm in the middle of the corridor, music's down there, art is here, and the SEND room is just there as well. So if there's any noise, I do apologise. I'm also trying to be quiet because kids are in class and they're learning. This week, it's a bit of a different principal's blog. Aurora Thomas is a student in year 10 and she wants to go into sports journalism. She asked, could she do a little bit of work on interviewing some people on the England-Wales game before the match and after the match, and what you're going to see today are those two separate sets of interviews. Aurora's nervous, of course she is, so it's really important that you understand that there's noise in the background and her voice might not carry as well as people who are very used to talking to cameras. If I don't speak to you again, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and over to Aurora. Thank you very much.
So I'm Aurora Thomas, also known as Rory, who is interviewing the staff about the England versus Wales game. I'm in my PE kit because we've had a sporting day event which is being carried on to Wednesday. I think the England versus Wales game was a massive, massive game for our side, which means we qualify for Sunday against Senegal.
We'll win the England versus Wales game.
I'm hoping for an England win, but I do think Wales could bring the game to us because they have got a good squad, but I think England have got a lot more strength in depth and quality across the pitch, so I think England will win.
It'll definitely be a close game. What do you think the score prediction is going to be, and who do you think should definitely start?
So I do think it's going to be an England win. I think possibly 1-0 England. And for my two definite starters, I think Mason Mount should be one of them because he offers a lot of creativity in the midfield, although he didn't show it in the USA game. And I do think Aaron Ramsdale should start over Jordan Pickford.
I agree with that one, definitely.
So are you excited for the England versus Wales game?
Absolutely buzzing, Aurora. Really excited, can't wait.
Who do you think is going to win? Score predictions.
I think it'll be an England win. I think it'll be about 5-1. 5-1 I'm going for. Big result, taking us into the last 16.
And two players you want to definitely be in the starting lineup?
Phil Foden, 100%.
Yes,
And also Gareth Bale for Wales, because I think he's past it, he's rubbish.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
You're more than welcome.
It's always something like really special whenever there's two home nations. Wales, I think, are going to be bang up for it because look what happened to them against Iran. They always want to beat England, so hopefully England will be very careful with this match because I think possibly, as Mr. Benyon will tell you later, they might actually play quite well. We'll see.
It'll be a very close game. Who do you think is actually going to win that? What are your score predictions?
I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I think England are probably going to rest some of their better players, so I think they've got to just be careful. However, I do think England have got way too much quality for Wales. The best Wales players are all in the 30s now. I think England 2, Wales 1.
What are your top two players that should be in the lineup tomorrow?
Marcus Rashford has to play tomorrow, not because I'm a biased Man United fan, but he deserves an opportunity to play. I also really want Phil Foden to play.
Yeah.
Those two have got to start, they deserve it, and I don't think they've been used enough.
I can agree.
Are you excited for the England versus Wales game?
Yeah, I think it should be a good game. I think it's the night on screen, both teams got so much play for us, it should be good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting and probably quite pleasant when the scoreline reads England 0, Wales 4. And I'm just thoroughly looking forward to rubbing it in anyone's faces on Wednesday. So yeah, thoroughly excited. I wasn't on Friday, but I am very excited to see a bit of history.
Who do you think will win and what's your score prediction?
Obviously, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go England 3-1 England, I think.
It's a silly question, really. It's got to be Wales 4's it, to be honest. Rambo's actually going to turn up, but I'm going to go for Bailey. Bailey's going to score hat-trick. 4's it. Joe Allen's going to come up with a last-minute winner to win 4-0, and I'll be knee-sliding through Nantwich.
And what are your two players that you definitely want in the lineup?
I feel like Foden's got to play. I think I'll go Foden and Grealish. I think they can open that Welsh defence up. It won't take much. But I think them two should be able to put them to the sword, so definitely Foden and Grealish for me.
It's a really good question because obviously you go for Bale and Rambo, but I just think I'd like Dan James and Brennan to play on both flanks just for a bit of pace. Obviously big keeper up top as well. I just want us to just go all out and attack, even if we just play 1-10. No, 1-9, should I say. 9 attackers, 1 defender. Wales 4-0.
So, what did you think of the England versus Wales game last night?
I thought the first half we were full of security, and the players that were chosen to start the game were there to make sure we didn't lose. I think in the second half we were a lot more positive, and it worked well in our favour versus the 3 goals that came.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we can take on to Sunday versus Senegal. So, who do you think stood out properly last night? Obviously, apart from Marcus Rashford with his 2 goals, who do you think was next?
I think Foden definitely made a story and a claim and a case for starting a lot more often, definitely featuring in the games. And like you said, Rashford, I think he came on and proved the point.
Yes. So, who do you think is going to win the World Cup then?
I think it's actually a really difficult call this year, because Brazil are one of the favourites, but I think their defence is definitely there for the down taking. Argentina are showing some good at football, and France are, I think they've been underestimated with having Giroud and Mbappe on the team as well.
I agree with that one. Thank you, Miss. So, what do you think of the England versus Wales game last night?
Well, as predicted, I thought England were totally dominant, and as poor as Wales were, I think England were really good, especially second half. First half was a bit boring, but as I said the other day with Mr. Benyon, I knew England would destroy Wales.
So, with 2 goals coming from Marcus Rashford and a goal from Phil Foden, who specifically stood out apart from obviously Marcus Rashford being player of the match anyway?
For me, it's got to be Phil Foden. I did say the other day that I think him and Grealish should play. Obviously, Foden is England's best player, I think, and he proved that yesterday. He caused the Welsh defence endless problems. And also a special mention to Henderson. Obviously, he came in, and I thought people probably don't like him, but I thought he put in a good performance, and probably a little bit of a difference as well in midfield.
So Wales chasing their own tail, obviously not in the World Cup. Where do you think they can maybe improve on for the next round?
Wales? Well, I don't know where they've got to improve everything, because they're not very good at all, are they? Let's be perfectly honest. But I think that's what I can say on that.
So, last question: who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
I've got to say England. I don't. But my head's not saying England. But obviously, I want England to win. I was going to say Argentina, but obviously for us to get through in the quarterfinals, we have to beat Argentina or France. So I'm going to say England.
So, what do you think for the England versus Wales game? How do you think they performed?
Just happy that we went through. Second half, pretty good. First half, a bit drab.
Yes. So, who stood out specifically to you, apart from Marcus Rashford being the player of the match? Who was your player?
Definitely Phil Foden. I thought Maguire didn't have too bad a game. And when Grealish came on, a game always buys you plenty of free kicks.
Yes, that's definitely something that a lot of people have said about Phil Foden and Harry Maguire. So, who's going to win the World Cup for you? Who do you want to see? Obviously, I know
France. I'd love it to be England, but I do think France.
Thanks, sir.
No problem.
First of all, I don't apologise for my prediction. Being Welsh, I had to obviously keep the faith in the boys. Just didn't turn up, unfortunately. There was a lot of people saying that they thought Wales played really well first half. I disagree. I thought it was a training exercise for England, really. Not really what Rob Page would have wanted as well. I thought England thoroughly deserved it, and believe it or not, I do want them to go far in the tournament. So overall disappointing. First competition since '58, but again, I think no issues from me.
So one player that stood out completely on the Welsh side.
I wouldn't say from a performance point of view, really, because I think all players are capable. More like Joe Allen came in but wasn't fit. I would probably say I was a little bit disappointed for Brennan Johnson. So I know when you were asking the question about can anyone stand out, I think really in the small moments Brennan Johnson had, he shows that he's probably the future of Wales, really. So I'd say it's a good question. I wouldn't say anyone stood out from there and then, but I think for the future I would say probably Brennan Johnson. Dan James was okay as well, and I think Joe Rondon did well as a centre half. But I wouldn't say anyone actually stood out and played well, even in the USA game. I think the best 2 teams of the group went through. I thought Iran did really well as well. So no complaints from me, but I would hope Rob Page looks at it and goes, we'll go with youth now. I think there's been some great servants for Wales, Gareth Bale, Joe Allen, Rambo, but I personally think the time is probably up for them. Maybe the Nations League, but I think the next Euros in 2 years if we qualify. I'm not sure if they'll make it.
Obviously, with Wales being out now, who is your winners for the World Cup at the end? Have you got someone with you?
Yeah, well, I predicted Wales are going to win it. I think with your home country, it's difficult, really. I think there's going to be a lot of Welsh fans that won't support England. I'm not going to support England. I want England to do well. So I would probably say that I would like England to win it, mainly for Man United. I would probably say, though, if hand on heart, my heart's probably going with Brazil. I would like Brazil to win it, but something's telling me that there might be a surprise winner. I can't decide whether it's going to be Spain or France. I think Brazil will be the best team. I think my heart's saying Brazil. I think my head, for some reason, is saying Spain or France. Not sure, or Argentina. I'd like Argentina to win it for Messi, but I can't at this stage predict a winner because there's been so many close and interesting results. But I think now you get more better players back. You've got obviously teams playing less games as such. I think probably the big boys will start to come out their shells now, but I think it's all about the draw. So I would probably say I want England to win, of course, for the English teachers in the school. But my heart's saying, if you're going to say give me one, I'd probably go Brazil.
So with a couple of teachers saying France, let's see what can surprise us.